So here we go. Usually with the Utes, if we've learned anything, Paul, it's that they usually go very hard for the last race.
It'll be on for the last race, and turn 2, the exit of turn 2, whoever makes it 3 wide is either going to be a hero or a loser.
We saw a big pile up down at turn 2 last year. You get the feeling something's brewing here. Red light is on, and we're away, and it's a better start for Cedars. Marjoram wants to get over there, but
Marjoram just needs to tuck in behind him here.
Perfect start for the Mango Credit
McNally's sniffing down the inside. He wants to make it 3 wide.
Marjoram's not willing to give this up actually yet.
There we go. Pretty makes it 3 wide. He's going to go on with it.
Pretty wants the lead. Marjoram's going to be hung out here. He's near the
McNally is still in there. Marjoram's been shuffled right back here.
Well, you said his best bet would be to slot in behind Cedars, and that's
the only thing you can do. McNally makes it 2 wide into there. Gives him one in the door.
That's fair. He was up there.
Yep.
Pillar kind of area.
Marjoram gets it back. So definitely. And Kim Jane sniffing away at the bumper there.
This is just helping David Cedars. Just like he did earlier
the key to it. Gets clean air and gets away. These guys will scrap, and Cedars will romp away here.
Oh, big move. Gray up the inside of Dontis.
Can't get it done. Does a bit of lawn mowing. Ryle gets in there.
Has to go over the curbs, and Gray prevails. And this is going to bank everyone up here.
Coming.
Mediki was up the inside of Mason Barbera. Dangerous part of the racetrack to go side by side, and they managed to get through there.
McNally goes defensive.
Yeah, and McNally, 2 West Aussies down at turn 11, and they all managed to get through that part of the racetrack. Look at McLeod fighting his way back through, and also Marcus Marshall.
Still 2 wide here. Marjoram's going to have the line. He's got to use him up here and made him over the curb. That's the only thing he can do. That's what you've got to do.
Oh, how's the contact between Harris and Gray? That's the fight for the first forward, and Harris is using the bumper and then some to pick off some spots. He reckons that car is impossible to drive at the moment, so he's going to be forceful for the rest of this race. Oh, here we go.
Here comes Dontis. Is he going to... No, so Kim James capitalised that. All this scrapping, Kim's capitalised.
Experience there. Look, this is the battle for the Fords. It's almost as if there's 2 races going on here.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Fords are just... They're like they're towing a caravan. It's just... They just don't have the pace.
Andrew Fisher's in the pits, and his problems continue. It's been a season that's just been dogged with dramas. Mediki's out near the fence, side-by-side action back there. It's a real shame for Fisher. His best round result of 11th is just not indicative of his talent or speed. Bad luck in 2015 is the story for him.
I like the way Marjoram just got up on the wheel and just shoved Nathan Pretty over the curb on the exit to the run onto the straight. Just not giving him any room. And it's what you have to do when it comes down to the last race. Time the man up and get on with it. And he's looking, sniffing around the back of McNally now.
But it's a Cedars Racing 1-2 because McNally is teammates with David Cedars as Danny Bazadzik picks off the Skyreach Commodore, and he'll lose another one in the process. Talking about Liam Nicolau. Here they go to end the second lap. It's looking good for Cedars. He has a rear gunner here.
He's gone.
In McNally. Marjoram just turned the fastest lap of the race, but track position is his issue here in 3rd. As it stands, McNally would win the round by 1 solitary point. Play action here between 68 and 67. A couple of Fords. That's sporting.
They're just slowing each other up here, so they're racing, and the other guys are just clearing out.
How about turn 3?
Oh, he's nothing left me much.
That's a bit more like it. I love the way the wall jumps out of the exit of turn 3. You have a real desperate lunge across the racetrack to make sure you avoid it. And Gray has a real train building here behind him.
So we've got a Ford pack. We've got a Holden pack.
Walton finds 2nd. Oh, over the curbs. It's noisy. He's loose. And that'll ruin his exit. Maybe give Harris a sniff.
Yeah, Ryle won't be able to do anything with this weight. You just see the back of the car twitching and moving around, carrying that weight for all qualifying, all practice on just 4 tyres. Really hurting him here in the last race.
He'll be happy to just bring home another top 10. Let's look at the starts. We've seen so many jump starts, and that was very close for Ryle Harris.
Oh, he just got a flyer. I reckon he's right.
That was Wing Cup at Bathurst last year all over again. he went so well that it looked like he jumped the start, but in reality, it was just perfect timing. Hard for us to tell without knowing, obviously, where the red lights are in that situation.
Yeah, and this is where Marjoram had to make the choice. Does he try and go around the outside and hang on, or tuck him behind Cedars?
Man, Walton getting absolutely blown by there. This is Mediki and Mason Barbera.
Mediki's trying to squeeze him over.
Oh, yep. Barbera, 17 years of age, not having any of that.
Holding his own.
Here come the Fords.
McLeod just in picture there now, so he's made his way up to 16th from rear and grid.
Good effort. He is flying right now.
He is flying, yeah. Got some easy prey in front of him. Should be able to knock those Fords off real easy, the way the Commodores are running here this weekend.
Jared McLeod fixing that car himself. Later today, he'll be down on pit lane working with Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport. He's the spike guy, so he's the one who is responsible for jacking the car up, essentially.
Yeah, it's a pretty key job.
If you mistime that, then the rest of the pit stop goes out the window. Oh, Kim Jane missing the apex at turn 12 there.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you. If you miss it, there's no point driving back to it. Just forget about it and get on with carrying your car speed. When you see Kim just does that, a bit like running a high line on an oval in a NASCAR race. Kim would be straight onto that. Just carry the speed through the middle of the corner.
So as they stared, McNally would win the round from Cedars, and then Marjoram, although that's not how they sit on the actual racetrack itself. Harris limping around with that front bonnet looking extremely damaged, and then that's how they look in terms of the order. And there's smoke in the background, and it's Noel Edge's car that is crawling but manages to keep it together. So still plenty of time left in this race. David Cedars, the leader, his teammate Reece McNally, Adam Marjoram in third. Further back, and these are two guys that have had their hands full throughout the weekend, Richard Moore and Bruce Oakland, and this poor bloke, Andrew Fisher.
Yeah, he's been in the pit and back out again.
He's just having no luck. He's having a bit of a lonely race back there right now.
Yeah, nothing going on. The understeer there too.
8th position, riding on board with Lee Nicolau. Second gear. Can use the curbs aggressively through this part of the track to find extra speed. And, oh! It's McNally. He's hit the wall.
Well, what's happened? He's been so aggressive over the curbs all weekend. He might have finally paid the price and damaged the car.
Or
no brakes, obviously. So
yeah, the way he's gone in there's no brakes.
He's plucked the right front corner off it. Obviously broken a brake line, giving him a long pedal.
He was on for an event win by 1 point. This will push Marjoram up to second, and Mediki with issues.
Issues as well.
Now, this car went into limp mode yesterday, which is why he had to pull over and essentially press the restart button and get it going again. I wonder if this is a similar issue because he's chosen not to go into the pits there. And he's probably trying to get that thing refired. So what's happened?
That's broke before he's got there.
Oh, I reckon you're right. I think he's hurt something going over those curbs.
Well, it was the thing. He'd been that quick over the curbs all weekend. I spoke to guys like McLeod and Nathan Pretty and said, you guys have got to get behind the wheel over there. And they said, if we do it all day, we're not going to have anything left. We're going to break the car. So there it is.
Oh.
That's finally broken on him. His aggressiveness.
Gee, he was lucky not to go in there.
Yeah,
that should have been the warning signs. But I guess you really don't know until you need to turn right again.
You don't. You load that side of the car and no one's home. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Watch Kim Jane come through here. Oh.
Kim didn't even lift. He saw that coming.
His experience, though, has definitely paid off to be able to get through. We're still green at the moment. And Mediki has got that thing fired up.
Oh, safety car.
Oh, safety car does come out now, and that will help out Adam Marjoram to close the gap to Cedars. Cedars has lost his rear gunner, and McNally is out of the race. And there is his Commodore stuck in the tyres, and that is why we have the Lexus safety car out on the track at the moment. And when we get back to racing, we're no doubt going to be seeing a fairly close finish, but we just need to get all of the cars up onto the end of this train. Let's take you back to Darwin. I wonder if we'll see a finish as close as the final race at the last round. Remember this one, it was Jared McLeod leading. Watch the move from Pither.
He
last corner.
It on in there. This was the best thing about it. They gave each other room. It was really good driving by Pither.
It's the gear change. He just managed to get it, and he knew it. He's punching. He's kicking it home.
He knows he's just going to pull up alongside him.
16 thousandths of a second, the second closest ever, and the closest ever was actually at Darwin as well. So just to show you that we see close racing in the warmer climates.
Pither on pole for the second Dunlop Series race too. So very versatile driver, Chris Pither.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how CBS works out across the weekend. Here it is once again. We see.
Watch it when it lands on the second part of the curb, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Just pulls the left front strut out of the ute. And when he goes to turn right, no one home.
There's almost that puff of air out of the left-hand side.
Yeah,
you
just
know something bad's happened.
Badly.
Whammo into the fence.
Yeah.
And that is good enough to not just take him out of second of the race, but also out of contention for a podium. And that means that Cedars will step onto the top step. If they stay the same way, Adam Marjoram can at least claim his first race win here. If he can get around Cedars. Reece McNally ended up in the fence. Here we go.
It's the safety car pulled in. Yes, we're going to go green this lap. So Cedars can go wherever he wants now. The green flags are out. He'll probably just tromp it at the apex here and clear off.
Nathan Pretty will be the aggressor in third as well. Has Marjoram done enough to avoid the danger that is Nathan Pretty lurking behind him? It's a fairly even restart. Here we go, the run to the flag. This is pretty much a green-white checker.
Cedars goes defensive, which will fall into Pretty's hands and allow him to range up on the back of these guys now. Cedars really going defensive, just tracking everywhere.
But in doing that, he's just ruined his exit speed, but not enough to give Marjoram a sniff yet.
Well, he knows he's got, obviously knows the strengths of his ute. He knows he can get off the corner well. He's playing to those strengths. He knows he's got good drive.
Further back, there's plenty to still talk about with the likes of Mason Barbera fighting inside the top 10. Oh, big moment. Jeremy Gray out wide across the grass. He's feeling the pressure from Walton, and Tonta surprises his Erebus
Kim
racing
Jane
teammate.
round the outside.
Oh, there's contact. Jane goes across the grass. They're still
he should give it back to him here. He should. It's really a bit unfair.
They both shortcutted at least one of those corners.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, and Gray gets the fence at the exit of 10 as well. And Walton has passed him. Hansford now on his Peters Motorsport teammate. Couldn't pass him there. This is kicking off. This time by, there'll be one lap to go.
Cedars has just eked out that margin again.
Uh-oh. Oh. Hang on to it. Chris Walton does a good job doing so. Caught one from Jeremy Gray, but to be fair, they're all on top of each other.
So Gray just allowed him to straighten it up, tidy it up and get on with it.
Last lap, the run to the checkers. Final race for the weekend. You're riding on board with Walton, and this is the battle for the front three. Marjoram's defending.
Pretty's in there.
Not to be denied.
Marjoram goes for the switchback.
He'll get it too. Just needs to get the drive out of the corner. Nice work. He would have earned himself the inside sit.
Smart driving by Marjoram.
Oh, contact.
Pretty tries to move him over. Marjoram's having nothing of it.
Great racing for second. This will all but ensure a Cedars race and round win here. But they'll race to the flag regardless for second.
Nathan's still on him. He's made a small mistake there. Marjoram just ekes out a couple of tenths, which should be enough to get him home from here.
There's two more corners in which Pretty can do this, but he's going to have to be very committed.
What's his hairpin coming? He's done close enough. I just don't think he's close enough.
And in the background, Walton's on an absolute charge. He's finally found some speed in the end of the weekend.
And he's up the inside of Kim Jane.
Oh, Jane knows he's there, gives him room. He'll hang
Jane
tough.
will just run the high line here and knows he'll have the line for the next corner.
But this man has weathered the storm. He weathered the pressure of the safety car. He lost his wingman in McNally, but it didn't matter because he'll be first to the flag once again. Oh, it's going on the background between Marjoram and Pretty. Contact, but Marjoram will just hang on for second. And I wonder if there'll be anything after the flag there. Walton beats Jane.
Which is cool.
And will there be any scores to settle between Marjoram and Pretty after the checkered flag?
No, I don't think so. The guys know that the rules of engagement on the last lap are
don't count.
Whatever you want.
That was exciting. Cedars wins 2 races this week, and it moves him to third in the all-time list ahead of Damien White. He also sits third in the all-time round wins list. A successful week in his first round win in a Holden. Holden's definitely getting the domination. Walton quickest of the forwards. And Marjoram has closed that points gap once again, wrapping up what has been an incredibly exciting weekend for the V8 Utes.